name's Max, also known as the Head Herder. I am the founder and director of Come By Festival. What inspired me to start Come By was my friends buying a permaculture farm in Wales. I'd never dreamed to have my own festival. I've been working in festivals since I was 18, and they've been a big part of my life. But yeah, I was never wanted to particularly do my own one until I set foot on this farm, which completely blew me away. It was just really, really magical. When I was just walking around on the kind of lawn outside the main house for the first time, I just had this feeling of like, I have to do something here. Like, this is such an amazing opportunity. I have to do something here. And I thought, festivals really is something that I'm really passionate about and something that I know a lot about. I've been working, doing stages at Glastonbury and Secret Garden Party and Shambhala and Boomtown and, festivals abroad. And they're such incredible environments that me and my friends have spent such formative years at. And so I thought, okay, if I'm going to do a festival, I don't want it to be just another festival. I want this to be something which is going to be unique. In that kind of process of thinking, okay, well, what could make this festival unique? Two kind of things kind of came up for me. One of them was that I wanted to really be able to allow my friends to come and share their kind of passions and skills and interests. Because I think that your passions in life are what makes life worth living. I knew how talented they were and what they were interested in, but they didn't really show other people. So partly was that creating this platform. Also, the other kind of motivation or inspiration rather was Burning Man, which is this festival in the desert in America, which is the most incredible thing I've ever experienced. It was really transformative for me. There's loads of things I love about it, but the thing I really loved about it the most was the connection you have with the other people there. And I believe that connection is created by this gifting economy. So there's like a misconception that it's trading. So it's like, oh, you give me a sandwich, I'm going to give you a cocktail. It's not that at all. It's just communal gifting. So people bring stuff to give and they don't expect anything in return. And that can be like, there's all kinds of stuff like, I've gifted or I was gifted a ride in someone's airplane, riding around the site, which is absolutely incredible. I have been gifted like massages. I've been gifted like jewelry. I was just one time I remember cycling along and it's so hot there and dry. Someone just gave me some warm towels that they've been steaming and just to put on my face, and it was it's just amazing. So anyway, because people are bringing this stuff to share and gift, people are really open and they really, they share these things with you, but also just their energy is so like, wow. And we are social beings, we need connection. So I wanted to try and take some of that magic to a UK festival. That kind of experience I've never had at a UK festival. Because UK festivals, and I'd say most festivals across the world, if you're a punter, if you pay for a ticket, you're just going and you are spectating. You're just there having fun, you don't have to do anything. And for a lot of people, festivals are just total escapism, which is great, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be like that, because I absolutely love going to festivals. But I think I wanted to create something where everybody was a part of it. To give everyone else the opportunity or just the platform to, like, if you have any ideas, come and do it. Whatever it is, come and do it. The first year was a little bit like gun to your head, what are you going to do? Which was not the right idea, just because I myself like to come and be a part of things because I'm an extrovert and that's my kind of vibe. Doesn't mean it's everyone's vibe, which I learned quickly. It was a bit kind of like mismatch of just like, what can you throw in? And we had, like, the decor was all random and like the programming was kind of all over the place. Like, we had a stage which ran for 24 hours, which was a bit of a silly idea. We just thought, why not? It was just kind of, we learned a lot. I learned a lot from that year. I wanted to create something which meant that people could just come together and connect on a real deep level, deeper than you would at another festival, and also giving people the chance to come and express themselves and come and share whatever is meaningful to them. Name came from we had a party on the farm. I think maybe it was that day that I kind of decided, I'm going to do this festival here, but like naming something is always really challenging. So we just kind of put it out for tender that night as we were all kind of drinking and having a good time, and there was like some absolutely, as you can imagine, ridiculous, silly ones, and there was some kind of good ones. To be honest, it was such a long time ago, I can't really remember any of the other ones. A girl who was there, she said, "Come by." I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then what I learned was that "come by" is actually a direction you give, or instructions you give to a sheepdog for when they are rounding up sheep. So if you was to say to a sheepdog, or a trained sheepdog, "come by," it will round up the sheep clockwise. And I thought, okay, that's quite nice, just because it's quite silly and ambiguous, and just be like, hey, come on by, Also, people always say kumbaya, which is kind of funny. Well, we had this incredible opening ceremony on the Thursday with a local men's choir, Welsh men's choir. So Tom, who lives on the farm, Tom Buss, he is the kind of like my right hand man. Like we do a lot of the stuff together, and he has this kind of tradition of. So I do most of the programming in terms of the music. The kind of the other program is what people want to contribute, but Tom, has this kind of thing where each year he kind of puts one act forward, and it all started with a couple of years ago. He was in Borneo and he met this guy called Jack Black, was his name. And he turned out he was in a death metal band. So Tom was like, let's just get him out here, basically. And I was like, yeah, let's get him out here. So we flew him from Borneo to the UK. He'd never left Borneo before. Quite a culture shock, coming from being a tour guide in the Borneo jungle to coming to Wales. And we found some band members to play with him, play this kind of punk metal, basically, and it was absolutely incredible. He absolutely rocked it. People were crowd surfing. There's not much sort of punk and death metal and that kind of stuff at the festival, I'll be honest, but that was just incredible. So off the back of that, Tom has always kind of put someone forward, and this year, about a month before the festival, I get a call from Tom, and he's like, have we got any space on the lineup? And I'm like, yeah, what is it? It's like, we need to get this choir in. And I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, okay. And he's like, look, they're amazing, honestly, trust me. And I trust Tom inherently. And he was like, I need the sign off now. I need to go to this pub to basically chat to them again to do it. And I was like, all right, okay, yeah, let's do it. So I just kind of thought, I think I was busy that day. I didn't think too much more of it. And then he was like, look, we locked him in. So I was like, okay, amazing. I didn't actually have any contact with them before. It was all through Tom, and the only reason we were able to get them is because they rehearse on a Thursday. They don't do festivals and stuff, they didn't do events. So they turned up, and they were all probably average age 60, thereabouts, and they go to sort of set up and sing, and it was the most pure form of entertainment I've ever seen, because these men who were singing these beautiful songs, but they had never kind of been in an environment where they've got glittery people whooping and hollering. And they literally said that. They said, we've never had anyone whoop at one of our gigs before. And, people were crying. It was just so staggeringly beautiful.
Sad news, everybody. Very sad news. You didn't hear me. It's much sadder than that. Really sad news. Because it's actually our last song.
And they sung some traditional songs, like Leonard Cohen, and then they sung a song about coffee, and then they did In the Jungle. And Stitches theme was in the jungle. But then one at the end, like, and they were having these little interactions with the crowd, just absolutely having everyone in stitches. At the end, they said, so we know you've been filming this, and that's okay, but we'd rather you don't film this last one because this last song it's a French song. We'll be doing an English translation. It's a little bit rude, so just, you know, it's a bit controversial. And then they kind of starts like, if you go down to the woods today, you're in for a big surprise. If you go and they basically sung Teddy Bear's Picnic and like acting out as well. And everybody is dying, and I mean like dying. Like, it's one of those moments where just your heart is so full and you're like, this could not be any better. I remember on Thursday thinking, this is the best Thursday I've ever had. And then Friday came around and I was like, this is the best Friday I've ever had. Like, we were very blessed by the weather. We had the Miss Come By, which is always a highlight. Like, I've actually realized that I can't program anything at the same time as Miss Come By because no one will go to anything else. Like, everybody is there. And it's basically, you know, it gives a platform to people to become these stars. It came down to Imi, who is also kind of like my right-hand woman, I guess. Like, she heads up the decor. She's unbelievably talented, so absolutely in awe of her. And Brooke, who is this incredibly gifted drag performer. And they went head to head, and it was just like, it was one of those moments where I'm just so grateful that I was there. And there was like, we had loads of great music.
I could be a river, I feel like a river. You could be the summer's day.
I think the moment when the couple said they met each other and they would love each other's lives, that really touched me deeply. There were so many good moments. I think just looking around and seeing everyone and the way they were all engaging with each other. Like, we had the best build team we ever had. Everyone worked so hard, made it look stunning. People were blown away by the production, how good it was. And also the live team I had was absolutely incredible. The sound team, everyone was just really amazing.
Why don't you wake up and become who you wanted to be? This dreaming is no longer for the keys. Why don't you break free from the chains holding your feet and walk away? Don't turn around.
The gong bath, we always have a gong bath. And the gong bath was really magical this year as well. Yeah, there was loads of highlights. I mean, there was no lowlights. It was really, yeah. I think it was probably the best weekend I've ever had in my life. So I'm very grateful, and I think, yeah, people really starting to understand it now. They really understand the ethos, and that's why the energy gets better year on year. The main thing I would like for the future is just for people to like I said, almost have their little area or their little thing that they do, and then each year they come back and they grow it and grow it and grow it, so everyone feels real connected and they look forward to it and they're excited to do whatever they're going to do that year. If this is the first you've heard of Come By and it sounds like a party you want to check out, please come and join us next year. We're going to be running from the 7th to the 10th of September. You can follow us on our Instagram to keep up to date when there's going to be tickets released, and we hope to see you at the farm next year.